So it tells us of potential danger. It tells us of any chemicals we might work with. It could also tell us maybe things we should do that are preventative, kind of like that no flame thing. That tells us these are behaviors you should not engage in, right? So it should tell us things to do or not to do. Those are the purposes of them, but remember, they're just a single picture. So the idea is to communicate it as quickly as possible, right? You are already automatically familiar with absolutely correct the no open flame sign. You have a flame with a line through it, meaning don't light a match here. You are familiar with the this thing is flammable, or I'm going to be working with fire, and that's the open flame itself. You're probably also familiar with one I don't bother going through with you guys. It's a skull and crossbones. What's that one mean? Poison, right? Some of you are familiar with the radioactive one. It's the one that looks like whales' tails with a circle, right? But there are some, you won't so much encounter the radioactive one here. There's some you just won't see very often. But there are some that you will see often here, and I want you to know them. This top one, God bless you. This top one has a kind of strange name I don't know that we know. And it's very relevant right now. Corrosive. You'll notice it looks like a test tube pouring out onto a tabletop, and the tabletop is being eaten away. Another way for the corrosive symbol to appear is like this. It's a diamond with a C in the middle of it. And what it means to be corrosive is that it denatures protein. That's the fancy scientist way of saying that anything made of protein, it breaks the bonds that hold it together and destroys whatever it is that's made of protein. Well, just in case you didn't know, you are made of protein. Your skin, your eyes, your hair, your protein. So if you get corrosive chemical on you, that's the instance we get to put you either sink part in the sink, or shower part in the shower, or eye wash in the eye wash. It's for these chemicals. You will usually see the corrosive symbol accompanied by a symbol indicating that you should wear what? Goggles. So we always wear goggles when we work with corrosive things. Now I have something up here that is exceptionally corrosive, and it says right on it, hazard alert, and it's got like a whole paragraph of all the things that you should be aware of if you're using it. How many of you are like, yes, I would take the time to read the paragraph? A few of you. The rest of you are like, no, I like the pictures better instead. There's a whole host of pictures on this bottle, including one that says corrosive, one that looks like an eye wash, one that looks like goggles, one that looks like an apron, and one that looks like a vent, or make sure you use it in a ventilated area. So corrosive is a pretty important one. It eats away at or denatures protein. Eats away would be like the colloquialism for saying denatures protein. What's this next symbol look like?
A cookie jar.
Cookie jar.
Trash can.
Trash can. This one is disposal safety. It indicates that you are going to be working with something that you must take proper precautions when getting rid of. Absolutely true. There are certain things that we can't just throw in the garbage can. In fact, what we do at the end of the hour today, I cannot just throw in the garbage can. There are specific things I must do with the remnants of today's activity. I can't just toss it in and be like, well, hope maintenance doesn't hurt themselves. Right? Somebody else comes along and empties my garbage can when I'm done at the end of the day. If I put corrosive chemicals and biohazardous material into the garbage can, well, that's not exceptionally thoughtful. What else should I not put in the garbage can? Cow eyes, absolutely. So I shouldn't put corrosives, chemicals, biohazards, and what else? James?
Needles, like hypodermic needles.
Needles and broken glass. That'd be another rude awakening for maintenance, right? Kind of unkind. They come through, they press down the trash, tie up the garbage bag. You don't put broken glass in the garbage. Wait a minute, if I don't put broken glass in the garbage, where do I put it? The bucket under there, it's called the broken glass bucket. Anytime we break anything here, test tube slides, beakers, goes in the broken glass bucket because that way it gets emptied when it's full, and then we don't have to worry about anyone cutting themselves in the trash can. So, disposal safety also means dispose of broken glass in the appropriate place. Hey! What's that top one? Broken glass. That top safety symbol, not only does it mean do not use broken glassware, it indicates to the observer that one, there is a potential glass can become broken, and that before they begin experimentation, any of their glassware should be inspected for cracks or fractures. We don't ever use cracked or fractured glass. We just put it in the broken glass bucket, assume it's all the way broken. You don't want it to shatter during an experiment. And any weakness in the glass itself could lead to shattering. So I have a few pieces of equipment up here that are glass. I have a truly tiny beaker. I have a stirring rod. I have a glass dropper. And I have a whole host of watch glass sizes so we can see them all. Already had to double check them and make sure that none of them are fractured or broken in any way. So, broken glass, don't use it. Check for it. Don't drop glass. Here's a tip. It does break. I know, you waited until this class for someone to tell you that. And dispose of any broken glass in the broken glass bucket. Last one up is what? Vaginal melons in the way. Wear an apron. I don't have to explain that one, right? Excellent, good. I didn't feel like it. Yes, wear an apron, please. Please, please, please wear an apron. Hey, what's that one? This thing is flammable. Don't strike a match. Very, very, very sadly, did you guys watch the news last night? You see the story about the 17-year-old girl? How did that fire start? How did that fire start? Did you see it? Well, first of all, only a couple of you nodded, so a couple of you heard the story. Those of you who heard the story, can you fill your classmates in?
Didn't she have an oven
They were using a grill in the garage. And all of you are like, I'm pretty sure it's not a good idea. Now that we've evaluated that. Using a grill in the garage. There is something in the garage. You park it there. What is it? A car. How does your car work?
It exhausts.
Gasoline, right? It's called an internal combustion engine. And it relies upon the gasoline combusting. So the heat of the grill torched the tank of the car, and she wasn't able to make it out of the house. The firefighters went in after her, and they were too late. 17-year-old girl passed away yesterday because they had open flame somewhere near combustibles. Your garage is full of combustibles, right? Your lawnmower, likely, your car, those things they can rely on gasoline. You keep gasoline for all those things in there. Your garage is a super dangerous place. It has all of that combustible stuff, and it has all of your fertilizers, herbicides, and pesticides. Ridiculously dangerous place. So, that's one of those instances where I assure you, friends, when they tell you not to strike a match at the gas station, they're not making it up. I know a guy who's like, I never turn my car off when I fill up my gas tank. It's like a 1 in a million opportunity. Until it happens. No open flame. There's a reason for it.
So is that the no open flame or the flammable?
This is the don't use an open flame. You're going to work with an open flame. Looks exactly the same, but no line through it. You're going to work with an open flame indicates that there will be open flame present, and that you should tie back your hair, remove loose clothing, all of the necessary precautions. Like don't take your whole lab notebook and your textbook and every piece of paper that you own into lab with you. Avoid those things. So if you were going to use the grill, you could have the open flame. It would be the, God bless you, it'd be the open flame symbol, but it would also say, don't do it near other flammable substances. What things do we need to support combustion? If we're going to make something go boom, it requires 3 things.
Oxygen.
Requires oxygen, absolutely.
Fuel.
Requires fuel. Oxygen, fuel. Well, there's plenty of fuel in this room right now, right? There's plenty of oxygen in this room. Why are we not all on fire? Requires a source of ignition, a spark. You have to start it somehow. So when you see this symbol, it means that you likely have fuel and you have oxygen. Do not introduce ignition. While we're, yep.
Wouldn't oxygen and fuel count as the same thing?
No, in as much as when we look at combustion, usually a chemist or biologist is going to make a chemical equation for it. And the chemical equation, for example, for the combustion of what we use in lab. While we're at it, acronym for a fire extinguisher? What letters would I use like this? Where's the eraser? There's your oxygen for combustion, and there's your fuel. So we always consider them 2 separate things. Oxygen is necessary for combustion, but it's not the thing actually burning. This is the lab fuel we use. We call it methane.
Why is there a triangle on top of the...
It means heat. What does this produce besides? we can't put heat in the product because heat's not actually like physical matter. That makes sense? We only put physical matter in there. Heat is energy, so we put it above the reaction arrow. Now you're like 3 chapters ahead. Look at you guys. Like totally 3 chapters from now. So my types of fire extinguishers are A, B, C, and then, you've got D-type fires, but no fire extinguisher is going to work for that. But if I'm using my fire extinguisher, pull the pin, aim the nozzle, squeeze the handle, and sweep back and forth at the base of the fire. Acronyms are always so we can like cheat and remember things, right? Pull, aim, squeeze, sweep. In the instance of a fire that, like the one that occurred yesterday, that took that young lady's life, that is not a fire extinguisher fire. That is a get out fire. So we understand the difference. Fire extinguisher fire is a, oh gosh, I lit this kitchen towel on fire fire. Get out is my gas tank exploded. Just want to make sure we can distinguish. While we review, what kind of fires do I use this for?
A, B, and C. Small and people fires.
Small fires, people fires, and the third use, of course, it makes an excellent shower curtain. But fire review. Small fires in your tabletop and people fires.